I'm back. So I want to talk to you in this video a little bit about my own personal lifestyle as a spiritual life coach. Um, for me, it's been a really intense journey because after I got certified as a spiritual life coach, my mom passed away, and I'm an only child. And so my mom and I were very close. And when she moved on, I really spiraled into a depression and deep, deep mourning and grief because I felt like she was taken away really soon. So that was really hard. Um, I also, just 3 months before my mom transitioned, I sold my business. I had a wellness studio in Long Beach for 5 years. And so that business was doing really well, but I felt this calling to move into something bigger. So before I sold that business, I actually went in pursuit of my spiritual life coach certification. I obtained my certification. I started practicing through that business. And then I felt really called to move to Europe. So I took a little trip. I went to France for a week. I sat in meditation and I read that book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. That book totally opened my eyes, and it put me in a mindset of I must do what my soul says to do. Nothing can stop that. And so my soul, I felt it, was calling me to sell my business and to move on. It had been telling me to sell that business and move on for about a year and a half before I actually sold it. But because the business was doing well, I thought, well, why would I sell a business that's doing well? That's foolish. I should figure out how to make it work. But it didn't work that way because my soul really wanted me to move on, to let go, and to go on to the next level of my journey. So I ended up selling the business, and then literally 3 months later, my mom transitioned, and it was out of the blue. We had no idea. And so that was shocking. As you can imagine, that was very shocking. So when I was ready to kind of get back into being in business, I literally needed a year to kind of do nothing. So when I was ready to get back into spiritual life coaching, I had lost a lot of momentum, and it was like starting over from scratch. So for me, this lifestyle of being a spiritual life coach is very much about following your heart, listening to your intuition, and honoring what you feel inside. Now, the degree to which we can do that, in our lives is really determined by a lot by circumstances, but more than anything, for me, it's determined by my willingness to really give my 100% to source energy, which you might call God, which you might call goddess. It doesn't matter to me what you call it. For me, I call it God. It's being at one with a divine intelligence, which is loving, unconditionally loving, but also that is 100% trustworthy. So when spirit talks to me and I feel like I have to sell my business, I have to move to Europe, it's because I'm feeling a strong connection to light that is telling me where to go. So I did tell you that this video was going to be about my connection to my lifestyle, right? So spirit is my lifestyle. I meditate in the morning. I meditate before going to bed. I am constantly in communication with spirit, God, however you call it. But I'm constantly in communication with source energy, with spirit. I do use my brain. My brain's okay, but my heart is even better. So when I need real answers, what I do is I quiet my mind and I sink into my heart, and I let the answers arise from the wisdom within. And whew, it is so powerful. And it has, shifting to this way of living my life has really changed my life for the better. Number one, I used to be on anti-anxiety medication. No more, you know. um, I don't escape my feelings. I am present with myself. I have a really good relationship with my inner life, and I live my life from the inside out. So as I want to make changes in the 3D world, in the three-dimensional world, I start inside myself. I tune in to see the ideas in my head. I run those ideas by my body, by my heart, by my intuition, through my chakras, to see where, to see if this is the right thing for me. I have to feel it in my body. If my chakras say yes and my heart says yes and my emotions are saying yes, then I can move forward, no problem. Now, if I find that there is a part of me that is saying no, for example, if I'm, there's an idea, move to Cambodia, and everything else is saying yes, but my throat chakra is constricted, I feel tight there, I'm not going to just move to Cambodia. I got to get this clear, open, and I have to listen to why I'm having resistance in this area. This area is my throat chakra. It's my ability to speak my truth. Any kind of emotional wounding that I've had there is not going to let me move forward in my life with power and determination and commitment. So what I have to do is make sure that no matter where it is I'm feeling resistance, I have to parent myself and make sure that I am the leader of my own being, that I'm the authority, not my fear, not self-doubt, not feelings of inadequacy, not old wounding, and certainly not the fears of other people, when their prejudices and limitations that they're imposing on me because they love me, but they're fearful, right? So my lifestyle as a spiritual life coach begins inside me, and it's all about having authority of spirit, authority of intuition, and knowing how to use that authority to make really good decisions. And I have to be very honest with you. My intuition has never guided me wrong. I have ignored my intuition, and I've documented it so that I would know when I was ignoring my intuition. But I've had some very clear instances where my intuition has told me, don't do that. That is not a good idea. This is a disaster. Please don't do this, Crystalline. Please don't. I've had my system tell me that, and I'm like, no, but I have to, blah, blah, blah. I know this is a good idea. I'm going to go for it. Spirit is so forgiving. Thank goodness Spirit is really, really, really forgiving, because, I've survived, and I've managed to thrive my life in spite of those mistakes that I've made. But always I can remember back thinking, okay, this is a bad idea. And I'm like, Spirit, why didn't you tell me? And then I go and I check my journals, and very clearly I write down, because I write down my messages. I do a lot of journaling. Spirit says, don't do this. This Spirit is saying this is not a good idea, that this is going to, you don't have enough energy to do all this. This is too big of a project for you to take it down. You need to take baby steps. And I'm just like, no, I can do it. I feel so good. I'm an Aquarius. I can do it. Right. So that is all I'm going to say about, well, actually, this is part one, video one. of lifestyle, because now I want to talk to you about like the things that I do. I want to tell you a little bit about my own personal, like kind of social life and all this kind of thing. So I'm going to do that in a different video. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for right now. Okay, signing off. I will be back.